Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. In this week's video, we're going to look at Cortex Code. You may have noticed in the last week or so, Cortex Code, or COCO for short, has been released by Snowflake and put into public preview for everybody to have a go. I'm going to show you that in this video on my Snowflake environment to give you an idea of what it is, what it does, and how it can help you on a day-to-day basis in your job. So I hope you find it useful. Okay, so let's get into it. We're in our Snowflake environment. We've now got this little white star on blue background, which if we click it, opens up Cortex Code. And the very first thing I get is this error message. None of the required models are authorized in your region. Please contact your administrator. Now, if I click learn more, I get this cross-region inference setup, which I need to run. So if I grab this piece of code here and execute it in my Snowflake environment, which is exactly what I'm going to do next. This basically tells my Snowflake account to allow me to access the Cortex services across region. So I've executed that. Okay, now we have it. Now I had to refresh my entire browser to make sure that it was able to be functional again. So it's all up and running now. In my Snowflake environment, I've also created my North Star Analytics database, which is part of the Master in Snowflake program, my training program that my students use. And just to give you an idea, it includes a bunch of tables in here around a fictitious consultant company based in the US. So I've got a bunch of tables in here, and it includes stuff like employee information, reviews they've had from my customers, locations, projects, and various other things. What we're going to do, though, we're going to go back across the Cortex Code, and we're going to ask it some basic questions first of all, get a feel for what it can do. So first of all, what databases do I have access to? So it has awareness of the role that you're using and works under that context. So one, you can't see or get access to any data that you don't have, but also it can answer questions like this based upon the role that you have access to. So it's telling me I've got access to 5 databases. It's got my North Star Analytics database, which is saying is a standard database. It doesn't know anything else about it yet. And all of the ones that come out of the box with the Snowflake trial. I can expand this thinking complete and it actually tells me what it's done here. And it is really how you can validate what the Copilot is doing. So execute a SQL query to show databases they have access to. It's saying this is a simple show databases of similar query. Let me execute a query to show databases, and then it executes that query, returns the information here. So relatively basic one to start with. But we take it to the next level of detail and ask it to find all tables that have PII, personally identified information, in them. Let's see if we can do this. Here's the for process that it's going through. We'll give that a minute or so to complete. Okay, so it's able to translate what PII actually means. And you can see here it's got this data governance service skill. Okay, so it's got some skills based into it which you can use for different tasks. So if I ask it a particular task, you can associate that with the skill, and then within that skill, let's imagine that's a little AI agent over here related to data governance behind the scenes. It can use that. So it's looking at the available skills mentioned in the instructions, data governance. This allows for generating SQL queries against the account usage views. Now it says here, because this is out of the box setup with just my database added in there, no tables have PII. No tables with PII being found on the account. So it means that they haven't been classified yet using Snowflake's data classification. All tables have been classified, but there's no PII. Now, I haven't run this classification function on my database at all yet. So it's actually given me the option here to run data classification on my North Star Analytics database to identify and tag them. So if I click that, it puts the prompt into the prompt window for me to then execute. So I'm going to run this and see exactly what happens here. So it's came back to me after a little look at the database, and it's saying it's going to run data classification on the tables in the North Star schema. So here it's identified a few key tables based upon the name of them that potentially could contain PII. So employees, clients, client feedback. Okay. That's pretty much a safe guess. So it's asking me if I want to classify this table, employee reviews. So if I click yes on that, it's going to execute that query against the data in the database. Now it's executed that one. So we've got a little green tick for success. Do I want to classify the client contracts? Yep, I'll run that one as well. That one's successfully ran. Now save again for employees and client feedback and clients. Okay, so we've ran the classification on all of these ones. It's asking if I want to do more. I'm going to say no. So I've now been waiting for a couple of minutes. I've ignored executing these SQL statements, which maybe it didn't like. I'm going to click stop here. I'm going to tell it, okay, I don't need to tell it no to run this command. It's still going on. Let me check the classification results. So based upon these tables I've classified, okay, so we can see that it's clever enough to realize that they're not in account usage yet, and it's went through and tried to find any tags directly against the objects, which it hasn't been able to do. It might mean that there's no PII data that's picked up in there. We've got to the end of here where it's got some column names for the key tables, and it's checking the tags on the actual columns, and it says that we've got a successful status here. But again, I get nothing back. So I'm going to click stop here. So summary of tags. Okay, we've got, so here we go. Okay, so finally it's got to the end of this and it's picked up some PII classification results. So on the employees table, we've got email, first name and last name, which is categorized as identifiers, which makes us a lot of sense. And then we've also got on the clients table, 8 different PII columns, which is also picked up. And again, they look pretty accurate. It says that the auto tagging is now complete. And with a little bit of guidance and help, it gets there in terms of recognizing your PII data. And so what happens now if we ask it to list every table tag PII equal to true in North Star Analytics? So even now it knows the columns from before, which have PII data on them, which look pretty accurate. It says that there's no tag tables within that database yet, which may be correct. So it says, do you want me to help create a PII tag and apply it to the tables? So here it knows about our 12 PII columns. So we can try and apply PII tag and see how far we can push this. Okay, so it's looking now to create the tags. It's creating a PII tag in a North Star database. It's creating a tag, calling it PII, giving it a true or false in terms of allowed values with some metadata associated with it. So let's create that tag first of all. And then it's applying a PII tag to the 4 columns. So here's our alter table statement. So the nice thing is it gives us this back so we can validate what it's doing. So we've got first name, last name, email, and salary. Okay, that seems pretty reasonable. Same with employees. So employees is ran. We've got the 8 columns in our client table, which we're going to run. And on our client feedback, we've got feedback text and contact person. Okay, feedback text, there might be some PII data embedded within that. It's a free text field, some unstructured data, which we get back from our clients. Checking all the PII tags have been applied successfully. And then you can see it's trying to use the information schema, which is real time. So there's no lag like we have with account usage. But we get an error here. It's a known functions tag reference. We're also getting some errors on get_DDL to get the tags on column definitions. So as it rifles through all of this stuff, we're getting some errors here, but it's really hard to understand what we need to do with it because, okay, does that matter? Because the next one's a success, the next one's an error, and then we're getting a bunch of successes. But we get to the end and it's, okay, successfully created the PII tag and applied it to 12 columns. Columns seem fine. Has it applied the tag? The altered table statements look good, and we can obviously validate all of this ourselves, but that's not the point, right? The point is that we should be able to trust this is helping us out and doing what we're doing. But if I was on a live production database and I was getting some of these random errors coming up with failed SQL compilation errors, I'd have to go and look into this. If I click on this, can't do nothing. I can expand it here. I can get the SQL. So I guess I can copy that out. I can run it myself. And yeah, I get the same error back, okay? So now I need to go and have a look into what the reason is for this and spend time doing that. And albeit this just looks like it's a select statement returning some information back to the agent behind the scenes. So it's obviously not trying to make any alterations to the schema or apply any updates to it. You can probably make a rational case to just ignore it and check that the PII tags have been put in there. But again, it doesn't fill you with 100% confidence in terms of what's happening on here, which is the main thing. So it's going to get us to a point where it's actually helping us identify PII columns. But again, the human in the loop aspect is critical, as you're starting to see as we just work through this for the first time together. Okay, let's go into here and say, where can I find tables on positive client feedback? So let's ask it some questions now based upon the data in the North Star Analytics database. So we've got a table in here where we get our feedback from our customers. Some of it's positive, some of it's negative, and some of it's just in between. Let's see what it can do here. So it realizes a client's feedback table, and it's reading that table, and it realizes the ratings on there where we've got a 1 to 5 scale, and it's using that to filter for records. So query the client feedback to find the top 10 clients by average rating and their feedback theme. So let's give this a go. And if we look at the thinking here, it's writing the query for us, and it's going to deliver a SQL file. Here we've got our clients coming back, 5-star ratings. So Creative Mind Studios, Health, Fitness, Medical, expand this out. Here is the SQL statement it ran. So let's give this a go. And let's execute this and see what we've got here. So you can see it's using that rating column that's picked up and identified as a positive average rating. If we look at some of the feedback themes here and look at some of the text that we've got within them, content recommendation engines, brilliant. User engagement increased by 40%. We love this solution. Okay, that's pretty positive. If we come down to the bottom ones here, so these are the ones which are average rating of 2, so they're going to be more negative. And if we look at this, student analytics platform is helpful, but the interface is not user-friendly for our teachers, poor design choices. Okay, that's fair enough. So it seems to have written a query that's been able to work with the data within the table. It's identified the table, it's identified a column which relates to positive and negative without us having to do anything. And it's been able to give us the SQL script as well as returning a summary of what it's been able to find within the data. Okay, so that concludes our very first test drive of Cortex Code. We use that to identify our sensitive data in our database and to try to tag it, and you saw the results right there. It's going to get better over time and more sophisticated. And in future videos, we're going to push it even further by creating applications within Snowflake. So hope you enjoyed that. If you did, keep watching, keep subscribing. New videos coming very soon.